Well, so then, if I got you right, you were referring to the man in white top, according to your evidence, who, according to you, was lying motionless. Am I right?
At the time I left him, yes.
And now, you are also heard saying you kill a man in his own house. Who were you referring to?
Same man.
Same
My
man.
assumption at the time was that we had entered into a compound of somebody. We had met the man. I assumed that that was his house.
Okay, so then what you are telling the commission is that whatever you said then was only an assumption.
It was based on the events that I had witnessed at the time, bearing in mind the trauma of having been attacked or of having seen citizens of this country being shot at.
Now, did you make any attempt to examine this man?
My lord, when I had been told to shut up, else I would experience a stray bullet, that would have been me signing my death warrant and leaving my young wife and 2 young sons to fend for themselves.
So then, you will agree with me, won't you, that those statements made were unfortunate, especially when you did not have the evidence to back that up as at the time?
I disagree with you.
If
that question should be disallowed, highly prejudicial, highly prejudicial. It should be disallowed. It should be disallowed, highly prejudicial. To have reached that conclusion is highly prejudicial, with the greatest respect.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the question is well-founded. The question was from the testimony he's just given, and given the fact that subsequently it's turned out that no one died, the question was on the matters and the statement made in the video were unfortunate.
My lords, with the greatest respect once again, Leonard Counsel and myself, like we say, you and I were not there. He lived the moment. At that spell, contemporaneous with the event, he made certain statements. You and I today have the benefit of what has happened subsequently. So to proceed on that basis to describe that statement made contemporaneous to be unfortunate will be prejudicial, with the greatest respect. It's a truth commission. Obviously not adversarial. Please.
Mr. Chairman, it appears what counsel is failing to appreciate is that per CI 65, counsel is not only supposed to lead the witness in evidence, but then counsel is given the duty to probe the evidence. And there is nothing wrong with the question, so long as it's of a probative value. And Mr. Chairman, I say that that was the purpose of the question. And for that matter, must be allowed.
I mean, what is in this question? I mean, if the suggestion is that the statement was unfortunate because actually nobody died, how does it, I don't really see what you're objecting to, but I would ask counsel to move on to another question. I don't really...
That is so.
I don't really see that this is extremely relevant or prejudicial, but I'll let you move on. But counsel, I think you must appreciate that This is a commission of inquiry. It's not a court of law. And so please be mindful of the role of counsel for the commission.
Mr. George.
My lord.
Were you aware, as at the time the statement was made, that the whole election was being telecast?
My lord, the election being telecast,
yes.
That would be a novelty.
I mean, scenes from various polling stations were being telecast.
I had no way to tell. I had no TV by me. I saw media men there.
Okay. Were you also aware that scenes were being broadcasted?
I had no way to tell. I had no TV by me.
Very well. Now, in the video you were shown, there is this gentleman wearing a black top and a khaki trouser. In fact, he's wearing a long-sleeved black shirt, who appears to be making a gun gesture and appears to be saying, "We will kill you, we will kill you." Do you want to have a look again to be sure?
Counsel, I remember you're talking about, only that I disagree with your description of what he said. If you want, we can play
Very well.
the video.
So wrong. This is so wrong on every score. But no matter how long it takes, we will fight. This is so wrong. You killed a man in his own house. So wrong. This is so wrong on every score. But no matter how long it takes, we will fight. This is so wrong. You killed a man in his own house. His own house. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys.
Did you hear him?
Yes, my lord.
Would you tell the commission what you heard?
I heard him say, "We will sue you guys." Because prior to even saying that, my lord, if you watch the video closely, as a law-abiding citizen that I assume him to be, you see that he was reporting to uniformed officers of the Ghana Police and Immigration who were present there. He was complaining to them. I saw that in the video. And then I heard him say, "We will sue you. We will sue you." That's what I heard.
Very well. Now, do you know who this gentleman is?
My lord, I don't.
Are you putting it on record that prior to that scene, you had never come across this gentleman?
My lord, my testimony before this commission is that I arrived at the polling station alone in my vehicle. I do not know the gentleman in question.
Now, there are reports that, and I've also listened to an interview with Wan Kojo of Joy FM on the day. Do you confirm you granted that interview?
I remember I spoke to a number of media houses. It's possible.
Very well. Now, in this interview I'm referring to, you stated that whilst in hiding with a reporter of City FM and other people, which you have repeated, you made a post on your Facebook. Is that the case?
If my memory serves me right, yes.
Very well. Are you able to repeat exactly what was said in that post to the commission?
My lord, if the commission will allow me access my Facebook page, I'm sure I can read out the post verbatim. But to, off the top of my head, recollect a Facebook post from almost a month ago will be difficult. If you have a printout, I can authenticate that it is my post and then read it out.
Now, I've got a copy here, which does not show the whole, but then it shows a picture. So if you can identify that for us.
Well, this appears to be a part of my Facebook post that has been cut, not the full Facebook post.
Also take a look at this. And confirm if that reflects what you put on Facebook on the day.
Yes, this is my Facebook post.
Very well. Could you please read that out to the commission?
I have just been assaulted by several members of the NPP Invisible Forces attired in National Security Council shirts and vests. They fired several rounds of ammunition at me simply because I was doing my legal job of monitoring the A.W.W West Worgon by-election. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I am grateful to you.
Honorable.
My Lord.
As at the time of this.
So that when I'm done with it, can I keep this to respond to your question to it?
I'll return it to you if they need.
Very well.
Yeah. You will agree with me that as at the time of this post, you did not know exactly the men who had attacked you.
My Lord, the men were masked and unmasked men sitting in the state vehicles wearing T-shirts that had NSC emblazoned on them. I've worked in government before. I know what NSC stands for. National Security Council. The president is chairman of that council.
So you agree with me that NSC, or National Security Council, is not the same as the NPP Invincible Force, would you?
My Lord, again, if you would allow me go back into my presentation, my visual presentation I've been stopped from showing, I would establish to you why some of those people, with evidence, are members of the NPP Invisible Forces.
Now, let's stay within the period when the post was made. As at the time you made that Facebook post, you did not have any evidence to prove that those men were members of the Invincible Force. Am I right or wrong?
My Lord, you are wrong.
Now, will you tell the commission what informed your view that those men were NPP Invisible Force?
Thank you, my Lord. I have mentioned an individual who I told you carried an AK-47, who is currently working as a member of the national security at the Kotoka International Airport VIP Lounge. Prior to the 2016 election and coming into office of the NPP in government, when he now became a national security operative, he had been a member of the Invisible Forces and had been on the campaign trail with members of the NPP, leading members of the NPP. There's evidence to that that can be adduced to this commission. We had seen his pictures, like a witness before this commission has done to show pictures of individuals with political figures. I have pictures also of the said individual with leading members, national executives, the running mate at the time, and now vice president of the country, in the same picture shot, providing security to those individuals. So with that knowledge, I knew that yes, this was a former member or a member of the Invisible Forces who now works as a national security operative.
Honorable,
my Lord.
Are you telling the commission that as at the time you made the post, you had all this information? Is that what you're saying?
My Lord, I'm saying to you that this is somebody I knew. We had followed the election. These pictures were not posted post the event. The pictures of them with national executives and the running mates of the NPP at the time were posted prior to this event. I had been an active player in the 2016 election. We had watched and monitored, both parties monitored each other's campaigns. We had seen these individuals, and so we knew who they were.
According to your testimony, most of these men were masked. Am I right?
I said some of the men were masked. And in my testimony, I recall repeating to you that the gentleman who I referred to as Double was not wearing a mask. I said he was wearing a military ballistic helmet, not a mask.
Very well. So then, if I heard you right, what you are saying is that Double, that's the gentleman you refer to as Double, is the only man you had previously known to be aligned with the invincible force. Is that what you're saying?
One man armed with an AK-47 is evidence enough for me to have made the conclusion I made.
You haven't answered my question.
I have, my Lord, respectfully.
My question once again is that your conclusion of the men being invisible force was only based on one man, true or false?
My Lord, one man who was a member of the invisible forces, now in the national security, is enough legal grounds for me to have drawn that conclusion.